When you have some means to participate in the first century, you get enough money, you get more value, and you get access to some rights, and you get access to some dignity.
That's right.
You cannot tell a poor person to enjoy some
That's right.
idea of dignity.
That's right.
That's lying to him. So I tell America this, why you should do it. Key element, they call disease X. Disease X, there's more than 1.6 million diseases out there in wildlife that we don't have cure for. You come, you dig somewhere, you bring people to dig, you don't plant for them, you pay them low wage. What you gonna do? They're gonna go hunt and eat wildlife. And that's how we have disease that we cannot control. Somebody in China in 2002 cooked them, I think a snake, a dog, and a chicken. He got sick. He got the flu. Went to the hospital, they say flu. They could not control it. But they didn't tell the world. By the time he was sick, he got in touch with somebody else who took a plane and went to Hong Kong. The person was in Hong Kong, get in a hotel, cough. Somebody in another room took it, went to Canada, another one went to Singapore. That was SARS. You cannot isolate yourself to the world, because even though Congolese don't come to the US, we are going to China, and Americans are going to China. So you need to help us fight poverty, because one of those elements. Because you're not isolated. It's not about if there will be another pandemic disease that we don't know. It's just when. It's just a matter of when. You don't want to fight it for. You want to have Congolese have the same ability, enough ability to fight our own disease. Two, Congo, the governor of Equatorial, is a second cycle of carbon. So we are saving the world, but the time is clocking, is ticking. You cannot ask somebody not to cut tree to save you when he's starving.
Right.
You cannot do that. He needs to eat. You got to provide him another opportunity. Three, Africa itself, Congo got the keys. You cannot solve issue in Nigeria of energy. If you think there's a fight over there, they have a big energy issues, and we have the solution, we have the dam, but we don't have the why doing it. You cannot solve Ethiopia, because Ethiopia, East Africa, need Congo as a corridor to the West market in Africa. You cannot solve the issue European immigration people finding outside without giving them an alternative to find a solution inside. So you gotta connect South Africa to Egypt, and we got the corridor. Three, we know farming. We know we got diamond. We do dig, but we don't dig it in the right way. We don't know how to write economy in the 21st century. So I tell people like this, help us, help you, help us, help you. It's complicated, but easy. Why? If America doesn't help us, we're going to China. We're going to go somewhere. We know we can blackmail the world because we have natural resources that you don't want anybody to touch. But as long as we're starving, we're going to find our way, our uranium, to go somewhere else. We cannot starve to save the world that all of you are missing. Don't ask us to carry this responsibility while we're starving. Sooner or later, it's going to fall, and it's going to break the world. So remember this, what I said tonight, because I have 5 minutes. This project that you're going in is gene editing. You either change a hip on somebody, but you don't change future generation. You can give somebody a plastic surgery, it won't affect the future generation. You can do designer babies. That's what we did with South Sudan. It doesn't work. You cannot divide Congo and think it's going to change. What you can do is change our environment. Is giving today the kid opportunity to participate in the 21st century. When you come in Congo to do business, it's about making money, but making money looking good. Thank you.
Amen. Bravo, bravo.
Thank you so much. I'm just getting more and more wound up. That's wonderful. Ooh. Well, that is the end of our featured speakers. If you have any questions that you'd like to ask any of our speakers, or please feel free. We are here. We don't have much more time, but please ask. We'll do our best to answer. Whoever.
One of the questions that I have of Ted is, in speaking with him earlier, we talked about the embassy and its relationship to the organization here. And one of the things that we discussed is that the embassy is so serious that there are some other companies, some major companies that are joining the effort. And so, Ted, would you please share some of that information with us?
Okay, as I said, we are working in partnership with the economic section of the United States. And since we have a new ambassador, Mike Hammer, is so il est tellement déterminé, he's so determined to attract American company in Congo. So before they do, we need to show them that we are able in our own way, in the private sector, to attract some American company. And what they will do for us, they will be involved in that to secure American company, because they want to concur with China. As my friends say, for a long time, American company didn't want to invest in Africa. China, Asia, they are there, so they are making more profits. So that is why we want to make a loyal way to do business, to make.
Speak on the five companies that are involved in.
Donc, the fact we have some big company who are willing to come, because when we say we will organize a trade show, the Americans say, okay, to prove you that we are so involved in that, we have some big company, big names who will join. We have, first of all, we have IBM, who is willing to come. As you know, that all the electronic process, it's Coltan, it's there in Congo. IBM is interested. We have General Electric, GE, we have General Motors, and also we have Boeing, who is willing to come. So I think this, with the letter we have here, we found one letter who the embassy said they endorse that if company came, they will help them to do business in Congo. So that is why the big company are there to attract the small company.